Theresa Caputo's familial travel arrangements and apprehensions around her son's disappearance. Theresa Caputo, the Long Island medium, is embarking on a family excursion. Her daughter Victoria, former spouse Larry Caputo, and other intimate acquaintances will accompany her on the journey. Surprisingly, Theresa's kid will not participate in the trip. It is situated in Tapoton. Theresa's son might still acquire the marketing skills via his association with Larry Caputo. A personal rift persists between father and son, remaining unresolved. Theresa was reluctant to align herself with any party in this issue. She stated quietly, "I cannot disclose any information. This is an entirely personal issue. Act according to your preferences. I desire for all individuals to experience happiness." Theresa's position reaffirms her consistent decision-making rooted in familial compassion. The extent of future changes in the father-son relationship remains uncertain. The summer sun lingered low in the sky as Theresa Caputo stood on her home porch in Hicksville, luggage in one hand, her distinctive high hair resisting the breeze. The Caputo family was prepared for a much-anticipated retreat to Tapoton, a serene coastal hamlet ideal for mending past grievances and creating new memories. Theresa had organized everything with precision: a picturesque rental property by the sea, gourmet meals, bonfire evenings, and activities intended to foster familial bonds. Victoria Caputo, radiating maternal warmth, arrived with her husband and their little daughter, laden with luggage and baby equipment. Larry Caputo, Theresa's former spouse, arrived shortly thereafter, with an attitude that was both composed and circumspect. A peculiar tension lingered in the atmosphere, an unarticulated sentiment. However, one suitcase was absent. Larry Jr., Theresa's son, opted not to attend. Days prior, Theresa had contacted her son, perceiving his reluctance. "I do not wish to pressure you," she remarked, her tone subdued and empathetic, "but you are perpetually invited." "I am aware, mother," he responded. "However, I am simply unprepared to be in the presence of Dad. We have unresolved matters that require attention." Theresa honored his decision. "I merely desire your happiness," she had stated. "This constitutes your existence. Act according to what you believe is appropriate for yourself." As the family convened on the coastline in Tapoton, laughing resonated through the briny atmosphere, yet a discernible void was evident. An unoccupied chair. Larry Sr. attempted to conceal his disappointment, intermittently withdrawing into silent contemplation. During supper, he gazed at the ocean longer than everybody else. Victoria observed. "Have you considered contacting him?" she said softly of her father. "I have contemplated it numerous times," he said. "However, I am uncertain whether he desires communication from me." One evening, while the others were asleep, Theresa emerged onto the back porch with her journal. Under the stars, she composed a letter to herself. Occasionally, love entails allowing individuals to approach you when they are prepared. Healing cannot be compelled. It must emerge naturally, akin to the rising tide. During the course of the journey, Larry Jr. transmitted a message on the family group chat. "I hope you are all enjoying themselves. Appears tranquil. I will board the subsequent one. Perhaps." Theresa beamed. It was not a pledge, yet it constituted something. By the conclusion of the vacation, the Caputos had reminisced about past experiences, created new ones, and left a slight opportunity for potential reconstruction. Theresa stood on the porch for the final time before they commenced packing. "Will you be attending next time, dear?" she texted her son. Nonetheless, it commenced on a wet afternoon in Long Island. "My sister Eliza and I finally summoned the guts to meet Theresa Caputo, the renowned Long Island medium. For years, we observed her facilitate connections between strangers and their deceased loved ones, watching tears, laughter, and a peculiar, profound tranquility envelop those she engaged. However, this time it was our opportunity. Our family has never recovered from the vehicle catastrophe that claimed our mother and grandfather. 2 generations vanished in a moment. Absence of closure and farewells, merely a profound quietness that accompanied us through each birthday, holiday, and tranquil Sunday morning. Within Teresa's inviting residence, the atmosphere was laden with unexpressed sentiment. Candles flickered softly, and family photographs adorned the walls like vigilant specters. Theresa entered, exuding charisma and genuineness, her distinctive hair resembling a crown of white assurance. She positioned herself opposite us, momentarily closed her eyes, and inhaled deeply. "You young women possess a formidable presence here today," she remarked gently. "One of them, your mother, has already informed me that she was quite spirited. Extremely protective. Did you always need to have the final word?" Eliza inhaled sharply. "That was precisely, mother. Even in the afterlife, it seems." Theresa persisted. "She is displaying a green scarf to me. Did you wear it after her demise?" I acquiesced. "I donned it daily throughout that winter." "She claims she adored that. She accompanied you on every occasion." Teardrops commenced cascading down my cheeks. However, Theresa was not finished. "An elderly gentleman is present here. Severe, traditional, possessed a penny in his pocket. Possibly military?" "Our grandfather," Eliza murmured. "He consistently retained a fortunate silver coin from World War II." Theresa exhibited a smile. "He asserts that he has never held your mother accountable for the incident. He wishes to inform you that they traversed together." He grasped her hand. I experienced a breakdown. For years, Eliza and I had tormented ourselves with remorse. Mother had been the driver that night. However, Teresa's remarks penetrated the haze of sorrow with the clarity of sunlight. Subsequently, an unusual occurrence transpired. Theresa inclined her head. "Do you have a child named in honor of your mother?" Eliza stifled a sob. "Affirmative. My offspring. Her name is Grace, mother's middle name." "She is currently laughing," Theresa remarked, smiling through teary eyes. "She asserts that Grace possesses a stubborn disposition. Exercise caution when she reaches the age of 7. The reading persisted for more than an hour. Information exclusive to our family emerged like long-buried secrets, transported by a breeze that traversed from one realm to another. By the conclusion of the session, it seemed as though we had just returned from a visit with our mother and grandfather. Not alone in recollection, but in essence. Upon departing from Teresa's residence, the rain ceased. A subtle rainbow spanned the Long Island sky. For the first time in years, Eliza and I experienced a sense of companionship. On a gloomy Thursday afternoon, Theresa Caputo entered her private reading room in Long Island. The clouds loomed over the coast, and the crashing waves outside resonated with the woman's grief as she sat quietly across from her. Emily Rivera was a diminutive woman in her late 30s, characterized by fatigued eyes and unsteady hands. A little, age-worn locket was firmly grasped in her hand. Theresa seated herself, her characteristic voluminous blonde hair neatly arranged, and her tone both cordial and assertive. "Darling," she remarked softly, "the moment I entered, I sensed a formidable presence, a grandmotherly figure. She has been anticipating this moment." Emily's breath caught. Her eyes brimmed with tears. "It must be her," she murmured. "My grandmother Rosa." Theresa shut her eyes and positioned her hands on the table. "She is revealing to me a luminous star, not in the heavens, but within your residence. She asserts that you are that star. She asserts that you maintained familial cohesion following her demise. You transformed into the illumination." Emily could no longer restrain herself. She wept into her hands. "She nurtured me following my mother's departure. Upon her passing 2 years prior, it seemed as though the entire house was engulfed in darkness." Theresa awakened. "She never genuinely departed, dear. She is demonstrating your presence in the kitchen, where you were preparing rice pudding. Did you weep when the scent of cinnamon evoked memories of her?" Emily inhaled sharply. "Affirmative. That occurred about a week ago." "She was present," Theresa grinned. "She claims you inadvertently spilled the sugar, and she attempted to advise you against panicking. She claims you consistently overreact to trivial matters." Emily wept while laughing. "That is her. Consistently instructing me to be composed. She is expressing, 'Mija, do not diminish your brilliance in my absence. I did not rear you to exist in ignorance. The room experienced a brief silence. The rain outside appeared to diminish, as though the storm was also attentive. Theresa leaned closer and remarked, "She continually discusses a star necklace. She asserts that it is the true cause for your arrival." Emily nodded unsteadily and unfastened her locket. Within, there resided a little bright star. "She bestowed this upon me prior to her demise," she stated. "Whenever you feel disoriented, this will provide guidance." Theresa exhibited a smile. "She instructs me to convey to you. When you are disoriented, gaze upward, but also introspect. The star radiates due to your possession of my affection." Emily had an internal transformation. A sensation enveloped her chest, as if someone had suddenly encircled her in a comforting embrace. The sorrow persisted, however it had diminished in intensity. Upon concluding the reading and stepping back into the gentle drizzle, Emily gazed upward at the sky. The clouds had dispersed sufficiently to allow a solitary beam of light to penetrate. She clutched the star necklace to her heart and murmured, "Thank you, Abuel. I empathize with you. I recollect. I will continue to radiate." On a gloomy afternoon in Long Island, Melissa finally mustered the nerve to enter Theresa Caputo's reading room. Her heart throbbed like a distant drum, resonating with the sorrow she had concealed for years. In her palm, she tightly grasped a faded image of her grandmother Eleanor, who stood in front of an ancient cathedral, smiling beneath a starry sky. Melissa has consistently had an inexplicable void since the demise of her grandma 5 years prior. Eleanor transcended the role of a mere grandmother. She was Melissa's guardian, closest confidant, and guiding light, the sole individual who genuinely comprehended her. The world has been dimmer since her departure. Theresa greeted Melissa with her characteristic warmth and keen perception. The room was silent yet imbued with an unusual tension. As Theresa positioned herself opposite her, she shut her eyes, inclined her head little, and murmured, "There is a potent feminine energy present. Older, like a granny. She is presenting a necklace featuring a small star pendant." Melissa's eyes expanded in astonishment. Her grandma bestowed upon her a star-shaped locket on her 10th birthday, a clandestine treasure she donned daily beneath her garments. She states, "Inform her that I never departed. I have consistently supported her, particularly during challenging times." Tears cascaded down Melissa's face. She consistently sensed a presence during challenging times, such as during her college graduation, when she stood solitary among thousands and felt a gentle breeze caress her cheek, or on the night she delivered her baby and gazed at the brightest star visible from the hospital window. She is referencing the sky and celestial bodies. Do you engage in stargazing or converse with her during the night? Affirmative, Melissa stammered. Each night, I bid goodbye to the most luminous star, believing it to be her observing me. Theresa smiled softly. She states, "That is me, my radiant girl. I am the star to whom you refer." The room radiated an indescribable warmth, like though Eleanor had just arrived. Melissa could nearly perceive her grandmother's laughter, the gentle melody of a lullaby she had sang. After years, the void within her started to dissipate. She desires for you to cease attributing blame to yourself for your absence at the time of her passing. She asserts that it was her moment. She departed aware of your profound affection for her. Melissa wept, her hands quaking as they clutched the photograph more firmly. The guilt she bore now seemed to dissipate gradually, fragment by fragment. Upon the conclusion of the reading, Theresa offered Melissa a tissue and remarked gently, "Occasionally, those we cherish illuminate our lives most vividly during our darkest moments. Your grandmother has been, and continues to be, your guiding light. Never question that." Melissa exited Theresa's residence into the now clear sky. The precipitation had ceased. The clouds above had dispersed, exposing a solitary, brilliant star in the dusk. She smiled while clutching her jewelry closely, and murmured to the heavens, "Good night, Grandma. I perceive you." Greetings, esteemed viewers. Welcome to my channel. I am Mina. I hope your day is going well. If you like the video, please remember to subscribe to the channel.